Hello again, welcome to another video. So I'm here. Right, so back in the dining room this time, and just got all my bits and bobs out the cabin. But I've got basically an eBay purchase, NES. Now I've already got two NES systems. I've got a Mattel version and the NES version. So this is another NES. I'm going to swap it for the one in my arcade cab if I get it work, because my arcade cab's only got one controller port in it, and this one's got two. I didn't want to use my box one because that's mint, so I've got this one because then I can play Duck Hunt. That's the main reason why I wanted it, because you need two ports for Duck Hunt, and I've been misplaying it on an original hardware. So what we're going to do, let's get this open and see if we can repair it. So the main problem with this is the main fault is a blinking red light, so that's not reading the game. So mainly that is to do with the dirty cartridge port, which we'll show you once we get inside, and the NES chip. So we need to disable that. It's pin 4, then we need to just cut it, get it off, and that should literally cut the faulty lights. The only other things, the caps normally get okay in this, not too bad, and they do, where it does go bad is on the RF modulator, where the caps are. So, but good thing about this is it's got a bit of component on there as well. So, right, it's got, if I can remember rightly, I ain't done this in a few years, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, and that would be coming apart. So I'll cut it here and we'll get the top off. Right, so we're back. I didn't want to do a video of me fumbling around unscrewing it, but that's all the screws out, 6 screws, and the top should just lift off. Now, this has not been opened before. The reason I know that is, when they've screwed in the factory, the tie, and once they're in there all those years, they're hard to get out. You have to crack it a little bit with the screwdriver, and then it freely turns. So I know this has never been opened, so I know it's not been messed around with. Quite dirty inside, so I'll have to clean that. Not too bad. So the next thing to do is we'll I'll show you inside, look. They're not too bad inside. I mean, I can see one cap there, that's on the component board there, but that doesn't look too bad. No corrosion, and generally it's quite dust free. So let's get this RF shielding off, which you don't have to, yeah, never been open, because they're really hard to crack open. And that should just come off now, and then I don't normally put this back on. There you go. So that's the RF shield. I'll put that to one side. It doesn't, oh, there's a good one. A nice little mothball. Gross. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. That looks quite clean in the cartridge port as well. Pins look fine. So we'll give it all a good clean. I'll just cut it here. I just want to get me a little brush set to clean it. I'm back. So basically, it's from a little Hello Kitty beauty set that, I don't know, my wife had a long time ago, and it's just ideal for cleaning all the boards down. So I've got a nice mothball out, years of, I don't know, but yeah. So let's unscrew this cartridge port now, and it should just slide out. What I like to do is get these screws out of the way, because them screws on the shielding, the same that screw the two shells together. So let's get all these screws out, and I like to put them on the table in the order they come out, so they go back in the same, because these ones are slightly different. And I can't remember, but I'm sure it's a bit of a pain to get this off. That there. And that there, look. Yeah, it's loose already, look. And we'll give it a good clean down. Right, so remember rightly, it should just come off. It comes forward, doesn't it? That's it. That's right. So that's off. That's your cartridge mechanism. I mean, it's kind of an irrelevant thing to do, but it's kind of ingenious mechanism at the same time, isn't it? After all them years, it still functions perfectly. Really well designed. So I'll put that to one side, and that's the board. So we'll have to take the board out next. I think that should practically lift out. Oh, there's a screw there, look. There's a screw just at the bottom there, near the RF modulator. I can see all the dust on it. I'll just get me tweezers. We use tweezers. I've got long nose pliers. So we'll get that in. And that's for the RF modulator, you see. I've got sausage fingers and I can't get my fingers down these little gaps. See, it's kind of awkward. Right, that's off, put that there. So that should hopefully just lift out. Oh, there's another one down here. Right. Yeah, put them to one side, there for the RF modulators. That should just lift out. And anything holding it on there will be, right. It's the controller ports, so we'll pull them out. Them out. You've got an RF modulator underneath. Well, that's out. So that's all your controller ports disconnected. So that in there is not too bad. It's really quite dust free. I don't know, all the dust seems to collect into one little area. We'll just clean that down. But I'll put that to one side. Now what I like to do is I don't like to put circuit board on top of fabric because you get a static charge. So we'll get a bit of mat down and then we'll give this a bit of a clean, I think. It's not too bad. And then I'll clean everything up off the table afterwards. Alright. It's not too bad. That's the board underneath, look. So you don't really see, when you open it, you don't really see much, but that's the actual NES. There, that's all what it does. Where all the magic happens. Alright. It's a power board. And that's the, I believe that's the NES chip just there, which I just have to go on the internet and just check, but I'm sure it's this little one here. Like I say, it's been a few years, but the first thing I'll do is let's get this connector off. Right, that's off. Right, okay. So let's clean on here. We'll get some cotton buds. And I've got some 99%, this one? Yeah, 99.9% isopropyl alcohol. And we'll clean the connectors. I mean, they should be pretty clean, but you never know with all the muck and grime over the years. Give that all a good clean on there, look, see that? And I'll show you how much muck comes off it. Look at that. So that's no good for contact. So that can obviously stop cartridges from reading. And that one looks a bit funky there, look. Get all that off. You can just see just running over just once. So much dust. And what we'll do on this, the one that goes on the board, give it a quick spray in there. Contact cleaner. That's going to go on like that. That's it. That should do that. And then we'll clean inside that. I'll get a new one. Clean inside there. Well, there's a bit of dust there, I can see it. Right, that should do that. It's all isopropyl dropping out. So we'll turn this over now. I just cut it, it's got you to double check on the chip. Right, so this is the board here, and I'll try and show you the cotton board. So this is the NES chip. Oh, another good thing about this board is there's not many caps on it that can leak. The rest are actually all ceramic. All these ones are ceramic caps. So that's really good. And when you look at these, they're actually high quality. Yeah, they're high quality caps. So you shouldn't really have an issue with them. So basically, this is the NES chip, and it's pin 4 from here. Yeah, so I showed you pin 4. What I do, I've got my trusty World War II knife, and I just keep scoring it and cutting it. You can resolder the leg and flick it up, unsolder it, so I flick it up. But I just keep doing this, and eventually you go through it. Yeah, and eventually you go through it. So it does take some time, but I find this, for me, the easiest way of doing it, and without causing too much damage. So I'll cut here because it's going to take a while, and then we'll get back to when it's snipped off. Right, so I'll try and hold it here, zoom you in, so you can see it there. That's the pin. and the leg is now snipped. So I'll zoom you in a bit. Where's it? Just there, you can see it? Try to get my finger, I can't decide to do this over the camera. So pin number 4, just scored it slightly with a knife, and then you just flick it back out of the way, and that's it. That should disable the NES region free chip, so you can play any region, but also it stops on any system, the blinking red lights, you know, because I think that chip does play up. I think you can actually desolder the whole chip and it still would work. Just get rid of the chip. But anyway, we'll put it back together now and then we'll try it. Right, so the chip is now disabled. I'm just going to flip them, make sure the leg's out of the way. Yeah, totally. So we could actually put this back together now. And that should literally be it. And that's a port. I don't think it was ever used. That's the bit at the bottom. You had to smash it out. But yeah, never used. Right, so let's put this back. Got to put these cartridge things back in. Now this is all for your controllers. So we're not having a shielding, so that can go just back. Now, I don't know if to put the shielding back. Yeah, I might put the shielding back underneath, because it'll help it sit down better. So the awkward thing like this is, this has got to go on like that. Yeah, that's it. And then these have got to go in between it, which is just awkward. I'll do a little one first. You just need little hands for stuff like this. That's in. That's in, right. So that should just sit down now. In, that's in. So now, basically, we've got to reverse engineer it. Remember how everything went. So them 2 went down on here for the RF modulator. And then once I've got these all in, so I have to use my pincers look to get the screws located, push them in the hole. And that should be it. That's that one down. Like I say, I ain't going to put the RF shielding back on the top. So that's that. So we can literally just put this back in. Now the cartridge port. That's it. So, if I remember rightly, yeah, that's it. We'll work from the top there. This one goes here. Where is that? Where's that one go? That one's got to go back a little bit. Yeah, that goes there, right. So these top ones go there. Yeah, the last time I actually did the RF chip was on the one I've got in my cabin. I did that years ago. I used to do it quite a lot on NESs. That's going in. We'll try and locate them all first. And that one went there, that one went there. And this one went here, and this one went here. So I'll push that down. Get this one located. That's in. Right. That's down. Here we go, put this one. This is a Shadow of the Ninja. So make sure it goes in. So it goes down. Yeah. Well, that works. Quite a nice tightness on it as well. So this can go back together now. And that should be it. Yeah. Right, turn this upside down. And we'll screw this back together. Drop the screws in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hopefully, if you drop them in, hopefully they'll locate. Yeah, that one has. Get this one screwed up. Well, that took some screwing in, that one. Yeah, so, one's worked. So, cartridge port's been cleaned, that goes up and down. Yeah, so cartridge port's been cleaned, taken off, because it comes off the board easy. And the NES's chip has been disabled. So, let's cut now to get going in the cabin and seeing if it works. Right, so, in the cabin, on the arcade cabinets, I've just took out the NES I had in there. This is one I repaired probably about 5-6 years ago. Did the same thing, cleaned all the cartridge connector, disabled the NES chip, but this one had a faulty controller port, so I've only been able to use it one player. So I just swapped the cable over into the one player bit on the board. So this is the one we just repaired. So I'm going to stick this into the unit, plug it in, and it's running on RF. So and let's see how well hopefully it works. There, let me just see what I'm doing. That's the Dreamcast power, because I had a Dreamcast on top of it. Right, so that's in. Let's put the controller in. Right, telly's on. Let's turn the power on to the NES. Let's put, basically I've got a multi-cart game cartridge, so we'll put that in. I'll give it a blow anyway, good luck. Just press down. Right, in it goes, down. Right, okay. So let's get you guys set up for a better view, and hopefully it's repaired and it's another one saved, as I say. Let's put you guys there. Right, okay, let's turn the telly on. Channel 0, these old tellies, all the trouble we used to have back in the day. Right, power on. Nothing. Right, let's reset. Nothing. Right, blow on the cartridge again. There we go. Right. It probably just needs a bit more cleaning on the cartridge connectors, but yeah, happy to say it's working. Let's try Turtles first, see if it works. And this is the what's the Japanese version. Let's try change the setting on that. Ah, there you go. So there's no flickering on that now. Yeah, controllers are working perfectly. Right, so I'm happy with that. It's working. Another one saved. But my main thing was I want to play Duck Hunt. So I'll turn it off. I'll stop the video here. I'll go and get my light zapper and Duck Hunt. Right, so let's check this. Telly on. I've got my zapper. It's all plugged in. Telly on. I've got Mario and Duck Hunt. I'll stick that in the NES. And now I've got another one that's fully working with the ports. So I've got 3 NESs now. Well, that's in. Let's go to channel 0 on the arcade cab, and then it should hopefully come on. There you go, straight away. So it's working perfectly. Let's go to 1.5 times speed. There you go, stops the flickering. And let's go down to, there we go. Perfect. Right. It's yeah. Oh God, it takes me back. I think this is one of the main reasons why I bought the NES back in the day. Was Mario, the first one, and this. Oh, it's just great. So simple, but it's just so much fun. It does get really challenging. Right, let's reset it there. So, another NES saved. The other one, what was in the arcade cab, now I put that into storage, and that's a backup for parts and everything. And then I've got a really nice Mattel one boxed up. It's in really nice condition. But yeah, another one saved, very happy, successful repair. Catch you on the next one.